Okay, so I'm fresh out of the theaters. I have just seen Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was. It has been the first ever movie to make me cry. And I'm 20 years old. It made me, a grown man, cry. I cried during the movie. I cried after the movie. And then I cried in front of the ticket booth guy. It was so amazing. I don't think we, as the fans, could ask for a better movie. I do know that there were a couple fans who were disappointed by it, but just like Five Nights at Freddy's 1, they didn't have a lot to go off of. And also, this is a video game, so I get everyone has their own opinions. That was just what I heard. My opinion is different. The storyline was a little eh. And I thought that about the first movie too, but I think with time and seeing the movie over and over and over again, I'll finally start to like understand and all that. Now, the lore secrets, the lore. This is where I start to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, click off this video. You gotta go watch it right now. It's it's something you have to like from a lore standpoint. You have to see this with your own eyes. It was amazing. I was hoping that maybe they would include a little sister location. That was just me, and they did. There was a scene where Vanessa essentially did what Mike did in the first film. The dream walking thing or the dream theory thing, and Vanessa did try that, and she was like stuck in a nightmare. But guess who shows up in this nightmare? None other than freaking Circus Baby. And I'm pretty sure it was like an actual animatronic too. I'm pretty sure they actually built the animatronic. But we won't know until like Daco, Fusion, Daz, and Rizbowski post their videos. But I was I was not expecting to see Circus Baby. Not at all. Also, this video is going to be like completely raw, so there's not going to be any music put into this. At least not yet. Not until uh, I won't make a proper movie review until uh, January when the stream is done, so that way I can actually have like everything I want to say written down and add music, add sound effects, stuff like that. Um, so the mini puppets from the boat ride, I thought those might be a little CGI-ified, so they could like wiggle around and stuff like that. which they weren't. Uh, and I did kind of like that. They didn't show up as much as I thought they would, but I I acknowledge the presence that they had and the importance that they kind of played for some plot points. I mean, for great heavens, they ended a man. That's all I can say. They ended a man, and it was red. Um, the opening scene, it just kind of happened. It very slowly eased into it. When like FNAF 1 like just took you straight to the point, like immediately, just like a dark atmosphere. But it's like, are you ready to start the show? And then it starts to play the universal thing, yada yada yada. And then they open up with their opening scene, which is, the restaurant at its prime. And you've got Springtrap or William luring like his first victim, which is Charlie. Or okay, so let me get to the point. He didn't exactly lure Charlie, but there was a little boy that Charlie saw, only Charlie saw, get taken to the back, and she tried to go to an adult for help. They were all jackasses. So she goes in alone, and you know, there's a whole fiasco, which I will go over it all in January. But Charlotte ends up getting stabbed, falls into the trap door, and is carried up by the marionette. Uh, and then they did kind of the same intro for the first one, which I was very happy about. And they did make the intro kind of sound toy-ish, if that makes sense. But it was still somewhat roughly like the same style and stuff like that. Um, the voice actors. I want to give out like a special thanks to like the voice actors: Matt, Pat, Megan Fox, Kellen Goff. You guys are amazing. Like the voices, they just felt natural. They felt very natural. Freddys caught me a little off guard. Um, I won't lie. The first thought I had come in mind was like glam rock Freddy, so that was interesting. Um, Megan Fox wasn't as bad as I thought she'd be, and she made a very good Chica. And the little humorous moments, those were, my God, those were interesting. Um, I don't know. There's so much I want to say, but now that I want to say it, it doesn't come to the forefront of my mind. Balloon Boy dies, pretty much. Um, I do like the fact that Mike was playing FNAF 2, because he didn't really play FNAF 1. He didn't really like have to like close the doors and stuff like that. He kind of played FNAF 2. Kind of. That's a little bit of a stretch, but he did have to like use the Freddy head. And he had to use the computer and stuff like that. Not for like monitors and stuff, but to like track the toy animatronics and like figure out where they were and stuff like that. And then I really want to talk about the marionette. I want to talk about Charlie. I want to talk about how that was portrayed so beautifully. It was totally different from what we see in the games, because we actually see like the spirit of Charlie, and we now like we see why she's upset. You know, she's upset at all these adults because they wouldn't listen to her. She ended up paying the price for it. So, and also like inhabiting bodies. Are you kidding me? And not like making them look normal, but making them look like herself. Not like Charlie, but like the marionette and stuff like that. With like McKenna Grace, that totally caught me off guard. Uh, and then with Piper Rubio's character, Abby, that was really creepy, and I loved it. And then at the end of the film with Vanessa, I'm really curious to see how that's gonna go because that pretty much left us in a cliffhanger. And there's, as I said, there's so much I want to say, but it's so hard to put into words because I'm like fresh out of this. I got out the theater like 30 minutes ago.
Wait, how does he have Mike?
It really is like it's just amazing. I do feel like they were starting to give away too much at the end, with like all their advertising just before the movie came out. But it was amazing. I didn't feel like too much was spoiled. And then from a lore standpoint, oh my god, Mike Schmidt and Michael Afton in like the movie series are like two completely different people. Vanessa and Michael Afton are related. Um, the ghost children from FNAF 1, the ones who inhabited the FNAF 1 animatronics, coming to the rescue of Mike and Abby and Vanessa from all the toy animatronics, but then dying, and then Golden Freddy, uh, Golden Freddy's spirit appeared. And he was like he addressed Mike by his like actual name. He was like Mike. And I was like, what? And he was like, once I'm gone, I won't be able to hold him back any longer, and he will come back stronger than before. And we don't need any context for that. I'm at a standpoint right now that FNAF 3 is happening, and then with like the oh my god, the ending scene. You got these like two guys. They're coming in. And at first you're like, what are they doing here? But then they're like, come on, man, we gotta collect all this stuff, all this original stuff, to bring it back to the amusement place that they talk about, and that the FNAF 1 building is about to be demolished. And so right there, it's like, what? Please don't demolish this place. And then you got like a third guy that we don't see. And so like a few seconds later, you hear him from like the back room, and he's like, "Hey, I found something," essentially. And so they go back there, and we are all pretty certain at this point, what he's found, or more rather, like who he's found, and then it like teasing us until like the very end, like they won't show Springtrap until like the very end, and it's just him sitting there. He still looks yellow, but he's starting to have that greenish tint. Mind you, he was like underneath the tarp, so we didn't get a very good look at him. But like his eye starts like it was almost like a malfunction at first, but then his eye started glowing white, and it was like, oh my
I'm
god,
not doing
it's
this.
him. It was just, oh my god.
But not
I
me.
want to stop stream so bad, just so I can make a video out of it, because I don't want to make a video using my phone. But I don't know. We'll see how much I'm able to keep this in, because I definitely want to go see it in theaters a couple more times. I definitely want to get a fast talker. I actually got a couple items like just before I left. This was free. I got a Freddy Fazbear's pizza box. Um, it's got Freddy Fazbear's on it. Um,
What have you done?
Unfortunately, there was that's the wrong way. There is nothing in it, but it's still like it's really cool. I'm sorry, I'm like freaking out so much right now. But you know, this is I cannot tell you how long I've waited to like just have this. And then they didn't have any of like the really cool popcorn buckets. So I just have this popcorn bucket. We've got Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Balloon Boy. Um, it definitely does. They forgot Mangle, and that's what I'm most worried about. I didn't even get popcorn in this. This was just like I came out of the theater. I waited like a little bit until there was like no one, and I went up to the guy at the front desk and I was like, "Hey, can I buy one of those?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I started telling him, "Hey, I was not able to see this film in person in
Uh-oh.
theaters when it came out, and so like just to see this one in the films was like a huge deal." And then he threw this in there for free, and oh my god, it had me in tears. Thank God there are like kindness still in like people's hearts, but I don't know. There's so much to talk
What?
about story wise, and then from a lore standpoint, there's I don't know, I'm gonna keep this as unedited as possible because I want you guys to feel like the energy that is radiating off of me. Like, I'm fresh from this. And it was amazing. So, enough of that said. I'm gonna go eat some dinner because I have not had anything to eat today. And I will let you guys continue with your game theory. At this point, you're more ahead than I am. I haven't seen him play Security Breach, so I might have to rewind it and just watch it with you guys. But thank you for listening to me ramble and enjoy the stream.